In the next two lessons, we will be writing our own natural language processors, one without machine learning and one with machine learning. So our processor that we will write without machine learning will be able to decode text and then do something based off of those words. So we've already been writing NLP programs in this class without machine learning. For example, the program we wrote when we prompted a user for their name and age and then printed out a welcome message or a hello message and then the year they were born. This is an example of natural language processing without machine learning. So remember, a natural language processor is a way for humans to communicate in their natural language with a computer. And so what about that rock, paper, scissors program? How was that an example of NLP? So that was even a more sophisticated version, right? Because we asked the user for their play, and if they typed in rock, paper, or scissors, the game was played. But if they typed in anything else, we gave them an error message that they had to re-enter their choice. So one of the first notable chatbots was called Eliza. And Eliza uses NLP without machine learning. And it was created in 1964, a long time ago, and it uses pattern matching to give an answer. So you can open this chatbot program and have a conversation with Eliza. And as you're having a conversation, I want you to try to make her say something that doesn't make sense. And then figure out what types of questions trip her up, what types of questions is she good at, and would you believe she was a person? So in other words, would she pass the Turing test? And then add your thoughts as a comment on this slide. So the program that we're going to write uses sentiment analysis. And this is a process which analyzes text and then categorizes opinions in either positive, negative, or neutral. So we're going to be able to read an article from the internet, parse that article into words, and then have our program figure out if that's a positive, negative, or neutral article. I want you to open this Google Colab notebook, and it's going to read a movie review from the Roger Ebert website. And it'll take that review and it's going to parse it into all the different words. And then we're going to have an algorithm that will count up the number of positive, good and great, and negative, bad and unhappy, word occurrences. And then that will determine if the review was a positive, neutral, or a negative. And then you're going to modify the program to find your own movies to review. And then we're going to consider maybe altering or modifying our algorithm to be more accurate. And when you're done, I want you to add a link to your notebook as a comment on this slide. So I'm going to walk you through this. So you're going to open up the notebook and go ahead, and the first thing I want you to do is make a copy. And then you're going to install a package that will allow you to take an article and split it into words. And then here's our Python code. We're going to import from that package that we downloaded a class called article. And this class has different functions in it that will allow us to split the article up into words. And so to do that, we have to give it the URL to the article and run a function to create an object of that article, and that will be stored in a variable called article. And then we're going to ask that variable to run the download function, so it'll download all of the words of the article, it'll parse them out, and then we're going to use a natural language processor function to be able to manipulate all of the words. So then we're going to take that object and break it up into a list of words, and the list will be called text. I'll go ahead and run that. And then we're going to take that list and run the split function. And the split function will split the big long string into individual words. So where spaces are in the string, it will break them up into individual words, and then we'll go ahead and print those words. And you can see here's the article with all of the words. So this is a list of all the words in the article. And then we have two variables here, good words and bad words. And we're going to iterate through this list. And if the word is good or great, we're going to add 1 to our good words count. If it's bad or unhappy, we'll add 1 to the bad words count. And then after we've looked at every single word, we're going to check, are there more good words than bad words? If so, print this is a positive review. If they're equal, we'll print this is a neutral review. And if there are less good words, we'll print this is a negative review. And so this says this is a neutral review. And I imagine it's neutral because it probably doesn't even have any of the words good, great, bad, or unhappy, right? I can print out those variables. I'll run that again. Yep, and there was 0, 0. So you might want to look through the words and modify the algorithm to find positive words and then negative words. And then I invite you to go to this website and find some current reviews. And I would look for reviews with 5 stars, 4 or 5 stars, and then with 1 star. And then run them through your natural language processor program and see if they correctly categorize them as positive or negative.